Rise and shine, it's a brand new day. Ken can take the stage, ready to play. Weekdays at 10, the cars and the scene. Coffee in hand, they're living the dream. Question in the voice, got the whole town awake. Bringing fire to the mic, make no mistake. Shows in the corner, spitting out facts. Dropping truth bombs, ain't holding back. Ken in the morning, feel the heat. From 10 a.m. CST, can take a seat. Live and loud, that great in the mind. Light up your speakers, crank up the sound. They're talking about life upside down. Opinions exploded like a sonic blast. In the studio, they're built to last. With passion and grit, they engage and ignite. Every single week, their foes can't fight. From sports to politics,
This is a Huddle Sports Network broadcast. You can find us on Roku TV, Amazon Fire TV, Facebook, and of course YouTube. Get all your NFL news here first.
Good morning, and good morning, Fred, and good morning, Ken, and good morning, Joe. How you guys doing?
Oh, I'm not doing too bad today.
And let me say good morning, Rumble, good morning, X, good morning, YouTube, good morning, Huddle Sports app, and the various different Facebook pages we stream to daily. All right, so who wants to?
Okay.
Oh, we always go with.
When did we get to Little John?
When I got the new mixer board.
Oh man, what?
Hey,
all this does is remind me of the Chappelle skit of what did the five fingers say to the face? What? What?
Hey, but I did find the Viking fans.
There's still some of them left. Oh, that's the lone guy that's still wearing his braids.
awesome.
I don't know if I'd call it awesome. I'd call it something, but not awesome.
This one, I don't know.
Oh,
what,
dude.
I can tell you what they call it, but you guys tell me what you think this is.
Sounds like a fart. Like a little toot.
It's definitely a mouse fart.
The description says kiss.
Are they kissing somebody's ass lips?
It sounds like a smack, doesn't it?
I wouldn't say a smack. I think Joe was dead right with the fucking fart. Little squeaker.
Yeah.
Anyways, here's what I did to my backyard neighbor yesterday. He's a Packer fan.
Oh, so you mean he did it to you? I got it.
Oh no, I'm the one with the firearms in the neighborhood. Oh,
wait, hold on. Your neighborhood only has you with them?
Well, with the firearms. I mean, it's a very military neighborhood, so I'm not the only one.
Okay, I was gonna say, where do you live, dude? I'm starting to think you're living in a gated community.
It's Florida, dude. Like,
come on, this is Florida. We all have.
It's like here, it's Florida, dude. You know, there's got to be some Cubans with some submachine guns somewhere.
Hey, you know, my neighborhood's almost all military retired or prior service guys. My HOA, which isn't that big, we're like 30 houses. I'd say about 25 or 26 of us are military. So we have a very good defense plan. Should it ever be required. I've got operators, I've got loggy guys, I've got pararescue, I've got a little bit of everything here from Air Force, Navy, and Army. We do have a guy or two from the Corps. So everything is represented. Notice I did not say Coast Guard or Space Force. But the main four major food groups are all represented here. So yeah, we have a very good neighborhood defense plan. Should it ever be?
Yeah, you got lucky with that one, Ken, because I've got a city cop next to me and a Fed on the corner. Yay!
So, you know what, Fred? Salmon fishing. So I just did that. Remember, week 2, I was on that Alaska cruise, and I got to see some spawn. Oh man, I had the best salmon up there. They did the salmon bake. They just open flame with these metal, you just put it in there so you can flip them.
Yep.
Oh, so good, so good. But Fred, we do get redfish here, which are also very good. And I've got a dock and a boat launch in my neighborhood. That's why we have our
Mr.
HOA.
Ruggies.
And you catch redfish off our dock.
Oh, see, I've never had redfish.
Hold on, Daya.
Oh, they're so good.
Hmm.
And of course, we get blue crab and other stuff. Blue crab, man, it's too much work, man. Give me snow or Dungeness or whatever, but like blue crab, dude, it's like you have to work like 3 hours to get that much full meat.
I was gonna say, what, you don't want a thumbnail of meat, man?
Class, Daya.
It's like, no, thank you. So hey, there was a football game yesterday.
That was a football game.
Yeah, I didn't really watch it.
I thought that was a game of who can give the game away to the other guy better.
I saw the score was like 9-6 or something like that at one point. I was like, what the hell? So okay, the Chargers ended up winning 22-19. Okay. Wow. Well, that's good for the Bears. That's bad for Kansas City. I like it. That was good all the way around. Hey, that's even good for Lions fans. Oh wait, no, it isn't. They don't have the tie break with the Eagles. Never mind.
I picked the Chargers in that game too. I was surprised they pulled it out with all the fumbles.
Oh,
Yeah.
Herbert, Justin Herbert is
Joe, you have bad signal where you're at, man.
yeah, you're breaking up hard there, buddy.
Hey, hey, Fred, real quick to your comment. The Heat. What are you talking about, dude? Like, I'm in the Panhandle, so I'm by Pensacola. So the Heat. Actually, there are days like in the summer where it's hotter in like the Midwest than it is here, especially with the heat index. So you might want to relook that, my friend.
I can tell you exactly why they were able to do that to win the game there with all the fumbles and all that, because they had this on the other side. You had a man throw 4 interceptions and a fumble, and not only that, but we had a play that was the rare turnover trifecta. You had an interception, a fumble, and another fumble. What the fuck went on with that play?
Look. Let me break it down Barney style for you. Okay, they watched Bear fans for the last 2 years with our shitty OCs. They watched the Raiders with their shitty OCs and said, "Hey, if it works for these guys, what? It can work for us."
I would
Blame
like to
the
know
OC.
I would like to know what your definition for work is.
I mean, no, because like that's what we've been saying, right? Joe and I have both been with our OCs suck. Now this year I don't have that issue. You don't have that issue. Even though you questioned it for a moment there with LaFleur, right? Well,
Absolutely.
Eagles fans are the same way. They're like, oh, we're 8-4, 8-5. Oh my God, our OC is terrible. So your OC is the guy throwing the pick, doing the turn, fumbling the football. That's all the OC. Right. Got it.
Because a lot of this comes from how much they prop up Jalen Hurts. And I said, man, with the numbers he has, he reminds me of Troy Aikman. He's Troy Aikman 2.0. The worst numbers in the Hall of Fame for a quarterback, you got in there because you had Hall of Fame talent all around you. But after this game, I got to rescind that. He's not Troy Aikman 2.0 because I'm pretty sure Troy Aikman didn't even have that bad of a game.
I mean, like, look, in the Super Bowl, I think Jalen threw for 152 yards and they won the game. I mean, and I'm fine with that. Like, I'm not going to just besmirch Jalen Hurts because, he didn't get 300 or 400. I wasn't going to go there, Fred.
Wait, hold on. I can answer this for Fred. You know what an OC is? That's what's in Chicago right now. That's that.
Awesome.
But I mean, look, as long as quarterback play in this league, people need to maybe change what is a good quarterback, right? So, like, is Caleb Williams a good quarterback? Is Jordan Love a good quarterback? Is JJ McCarthy a good quarterback? Just pick a quarterback. Is a good in the criteria? Well, they threw for X amount of yards, touchdowns, interceptions. Okay, great. That's the metric that people want to look at. The problem is this. Look at Kirk Cousins. Great metrics during the regular season. He's going to throw when he was an everyday starter like Dak, your fantasy points because of the metrics were phenomenal. But do they do fourth quarter drives to win games? Do they manage and steward the team appropriately so that you win games. With Jalen Hurts, for the most part, because overall he doesn't throw many interceptions, so that piece is good. He does manage and steward his team to victory more times than not. That's good. So okay, he's an okay quarterback. He's a good quarterback. I wouldn't put him in like Drew Brees lead your team to victory quarterback, but okay, he's a good quarterback. I mean, but the thing I think you're getting at is they put him on this pedestal because look how awesome he is.
Yes.
He's a good quarterback. He does good things. He doesn't turn the ball over.
That right there is my thing. And it goes back to what we talked about earlier in the season with like Baker Mayfield and Matthew Stafford. It's the it factor that Kirk Cousins and Dak Prescott do not have the it factor, where they have the physical tools and all that, and they're smart enough to play the game where they're not messing it all up, and they're very efficient. Where Jalen Hurts, I'm not going to comment on if he's smarter or not, because it seems like he is, because he's shown he can read defenses. But I don't think he has the physical gifts, but I think he does have the it factor.
Well, like Goff's another good example. Like, okay, is he a competent quarterback? Yes. Does he put up good numbers? Yes. If he's protected, he's going to shred you like any other quarterback is in this league if they're protected. We've seen, but look how he shreds defenses because he's protected. You protected Rex Grossman back in the day, he'd shred you too. You protected Kyle Orton, he'd shred you too. Any quarterback in this league, with given protection, can shred you, because to be one of only 2,000 or 3,000 people on the planet that have a professional football contract, you have to be pretty darn good. You can't just be some guy off the street who played in a beer league and shred NFL defenses, right? I mean, so they're all pretty decent. Shedeur Sanders, you protect him, he can shred you, right? I mean, even your guy, Joe.
And if you
if
you give him a microphone, he can shred you too.
No, actually, I was laughing because he said you can't be any guy off the street, and I was thinking you were going to say you can't be any geek off the street, and then I was going to say regulators.
No, we're showing our age today. But I mean, so Jalen Hurts, he's not a bad quarterback, but you can't blame the OC when they're fumbling the ball or when receivers are dropping the ball. I mean, is there some coaching aspect to that? Yes, sure, there is some. But you can't blame the OC's play calling because they fumbled it or because they couldn't catch, right? You got to blame the position coaches at that point. Now, is the OC responsible for those people? Sure, so is the head coach.
I blame
Yeah.
the Coaches don't drop the ball in the middle of the field, dude. Like,
so Dorn, if you want to talk about Caleb, like guys with it factors, right? I think Caleb is developing that it factor this year in the league. Right.
I think it's possible. Absolutely.
Jordan hasn't developed that it factor, but he hasn't had.
I was going to say
he's different. His it factor is the same as Rodgers and Favre in a sense. Like, okay, he doesn't have the Stafford, Baker, Williams it factor like that fourth quarter drive. He's got that. You make a single mistake, I will exploit the hell out of you factor that Rodgers had during his peak, right? Because I see that with look at Love did that this week. Like the Bears made mistakes defensively in coverage. He noticed it, exploited it. But I have not seen Love do the fourth quarter, game-winning drive thing as often. You got to do it, and look, that's because he hasn't maybe been in the position. I'm not saying he can't do it.
I was going to say,
I mean, so his mistake for me right now is more of, look, if he's adequately protected and you call the wrong scheme, he will exploit it like no other.
It's like that meme, with that guy pointing to his head. It's like, if you're ahead the whole game, you don't need fourth quarter comebacks.
Yeah.
There you go, Joe. There you go.
But I mean, these guys all have that kind of factor. Well, I mean, Williams with lead the NFL in fourth quarter comeback drives this year, which I thought it would be Baker, but it's actually Caleb, which was surprising. Those guys have that factor, but some of these, like Jalen Hurts doesn't have that factor. He's kind of like a better version of Kyle Orton in a lot of ways.
No, I think Jalen Hurts has the it factor. I don't think he has the physical like talent to where it's like, oh my God, he's got this wow arm that he's gonna make these crazy insane throws with and just fucking place that ball all over the field.
Well, remember
It'll
the
be
Super Bowl they lost. It was
it'll
on him.
yeah,
His fumble, his picks.
it'll be more of we need a play to get done, and he's going to make that play. That's where I think his hit factor is.
But sometimes he wanders in the Tua land.
Hmm?
Because like Tua has that kind of choke artist thing about him sometimes in the fourth quarter. And I see Jalen with that. Look at the Super Bowl, the one they lost. He fumbled it. That was a touchdown. Scoop 6. Then he had a pick 6. I mean, he's gotten much better himself personally at that game. But like because of their team having 5-6 turnovers a game, dude, that's not on the OC. That's on the player. And you're right. Maybe it's because they've hyped up their quarterback so much that they say, well, we can't blame him. We got to blame the OC. Like, no, dude, blame your players. Like, your players will bring the smoke in a heartbeat if they don't think they're getting the rock enough. Okay, you're getting the rock, and now you're turning the ball over. So guess what, dude? Like, hold them to account.
And they're even blaming the OC for Saquon suffering the Madden curse and watching his production drop off by 1,000 yards.
I love. Wait, you know what's funny about that? All right, every running back in NFL history who's rushed for X amount of yards and had X amount of carries, and without fail has dropped significantly the following year. Oh, but it's the OC's fault because our guy is doing exactly what everyone else has done historically.
Mm-hmm. That's why I said going into it, they got the triple curse going.
So I got
to the Madden cover, just like on the actual physical side of the ball, right? Anyone who's rushed for almost 2,000 yards in a year, carried it over X amount of time. What's that number? 400 times. The following year has showed significant drop off. And Eagles fans somehow, because I guess they're Eagles fans, thought, well, you know, that rule may that rule or that stat may apply to everyone else in history, but not us. Well, guess what, dude? It kind of did. And you know, like, could Saquon possibly have broken that? Sure, he's a good football player, but he did it.
There's a lot of tread taken off of his tires.
Yeah, it's not on the OC. And honestly, like after you just had the season he had, you won the Super Bowl on his back. What, you don't think teams are going to load up to stop him?
No. Oh, you're talking about Saquon. Okay, I thought you were talking about the OC. I was going to say their OC that won the Super Bowl with him. He's now down in New Orleans, but I got you.
I mean, and that's the other thing. You've got a new OC, so yeah, things are going to be different. Ask Detroit. I mean, the fact that
you know that I was going to say, since you brought that up, that's a perfect fucking analogy because I heard the same shit from Eagles fans that I heard from Detroit fans that, we're not going to miss a beat. We're going to do X, Y, and Z. Now, granted, I will say Eagles fans didn't go into the whole thing of, well, this is the guy that taught him. It's going to be even better and all that fucking nonsense to see it fall on his face.
But there's more to it, though. Like, I was watching the game last night and they got into some of the statistical stuff behind it, right? Like last year, the Eagles were the number 1 overall defense. This year, they're 25th. They're only top 10 in total points per game, like deep points allowed. So they went from the number 1 defense to number 25, right? They have 3 Pro Bowl offensive linemen that are injured right now, like that have been injured on and off throughout the season. I mean, there are things that factor into that. A new offensive coordinator, like you mentioned, Ken, like all those things factor into what we're seeing. They're not the same team.
Sometimes you get a new coordinator that works out, like Hafley when he got to Green Bay, transformed that defense in the first year pretty quickly. The new defense, the new DC they've got in Detroit, in some ways, I don't think they've really. They're not as good in some ways, but they're better in others. And
I do like Kelvin Shepard as a coordinator. But what they got going on in the offense, they need to bring somebody new in next year.
But I mean, like you see this with new coordinators. Like even Chicago, we're double coordinator new, right? And offensively it's working. Defensively, it's taking longer to take shape. Now you get the other thing. The I word happens. You have injuries. and then you got to deal with those. So I mean, there's a lot of things going on there. But for Philly fans to just go, "Oh, our coordinator," it's like, well, dude, it's a different guy. Even if it's the same offense, like I was telling Lions fans, like, oh, they're saying, well, Morton's got the same playbook. Well, that's great, but it's a different guy calling it. So he's thinking differently than the other guy did, even if it's a shade different, like a tenth of a difference. It's a difference, and that small difference in this league can mean a lot. And go back to John real quick. John, you're saying something I've said for a long time about Mahomes. Look, I'm not going to say, and no one, please, no one take this as me saying Mahomes is not a good quarterback. However, Mahomes gets drafted to a team who the year before had made the playoffs. He got drafted to a team with a bunch of all-pro everything around him, running backs, receivers, O-line, defense was really good. Hall of Fame coaching staff, right? And yeah, he looked freaking great because he had basic tools. They let him sit for a year. He learned. They protected him. He does some cool off-platform stuff that looks good, great. But if you notice, he does not make his teammates better. He was, and now he's a better quarterback now, obviously, than he was then, but he doesn't make anyone better. And yeah, you're seeing him struggle. Why? Because he doesn't have all the great people around him anymore. If you would have put Mitch Trubisky in that system instead of Mahomes, the Bears had drafted Mahomes. Mahomes would be talked about how Trubisky is, and Trubisky might be talked about how Mahomes is.
I'm gonna push back a little bit.
Hold
here.
on, let me finish the point.
Okay.
I know that Mahomes, talent-wise, now we see him go, well, he does some really good things that maybe Trubisky doesn't. Fine. But you know what? Trubisky was a solid enough quarterback before he got ruined in this league, mentally ruined, where he could do something, right? I mean, he's athletic. He could throw the ball. He does make some off-platform stuff. We saw in Chicago in 18. He could guide a team to victory. And that team wasn't nearly as good as what KC had. So, I mean, all that kind of stuff matters. Now you're seeing some of that stuff getting stripped away from Mahomes. And Mahomes looks like just any other good quarterback in this league. Like that aura of greatness is gone because he didn't make people better.
I'm going to say, like, this is just my opinion, of course, but like, I think that I agree with you to a point, Ken, that some of the aura of invincibility is gone. Like, I still think he's a top 5 quarterback in the league, but I don't think he's like the unanimous number 1 anymore. Like, if you ask me, I think 3 years ago, if you were to ask anyone who's the best quarterback in the league, I think 90%, at least 90% of people would say Patrick Mahomes. I don't think that maybe they'll say that now. To me, the best quarterback in the league right now is Joe Burrow, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Joe Burrow is. Joe Burrow may have been the best quarterback in the league for the last 3 years. Go ahead, Ken.
Yeah, I get your point about the situation he was set up with and how we're starting to see some cracks now. And then I don't take away from that. I think that's partially true. Mm-hmm. But I think saying that, Trubisky would do just as good. Now, Trubisky, I think if he would have went somewhere besides Chicago, would have had a career. But we've seen Mahomes do a lot of things that very few people on this planet can do.
Well, but he's done that, though, because he had the opportunity to do so, whereas other quarterbacks did not. You see what I'm saying? I agree. Look, the guy can do something, like Caleb can do some things. You go, oh, okay, what the hell? How'd that happen? Right? Like the touchdown throw this, you're like, really, dude? Or like, everyone's jaw dropped. Bears and Packers fan alike on that touchdown reception. Packer fans like, how the hell did we not intercept that? Bears fans, how the hell did he get that in there?
Oh, I can tell you how he didn't intercept it. He had his hands this far apart, and it just went right through him.
Laced it through the eye hole, man. But I mean, and Mahomes does that. I'm not saying he doesn't, but he was given, but that he can do that stuff because of the opportunities he had.
Hold on, Luca. Can you speak up a lot louder? It's real tough to hear you from the basement, man.
But I mean, but so Mahomes, we're starting.
He is the lone Vikings fan. We figured it out, Ken.
Yeah, but Mahomes is kind of like coming down to earth. Like Burrow, when he has no one around him, dude, he still does shit. Like, he makes people better. Mahomes, man, he needs certain things, and if he doesn't have them, he's just a pedestrian, everyday quarterback.
I wouldn't say he's a pedestrian everyday.
Yeah,
quarterback.
Like I said, I still think he's top 5.
Yes,
to a certain degree, he's pedestrian.
I think a lot of this has to do with Kelsey aging out and that being his favorite target, his number
Oh,
one
you mean
target,
so because he's got talent leaving around him, he isn't elevating other talent.
one specific guy.
What's he done with his wide receiving core?
The same thing he's done with his wide receiving core the whole time he's been there. His wide receiving core has not been great. The only one
Tyreek.
that's what I was about to say. The only good one he had was Tyreek.
He's had a couple good ones come and go, but
I don't know.
he
Rasheed
doesn't-
Rice is pretty decent, dude.
Rasheed Rice could be
Decent.
really good. He just has some
Decent.
other-
He's pretty good. I mean, he's not like, he's not up there with Justin Jefferson or Jamar Chase or anything like that, but he's
And look, I think
he's serviceable.
Mahomes is as good as he is because of the start he was afforded to have. When he came to the league.
Luca, you might want to take that wig off your blow up doll there. My mother's still up here in New York. I don't know what you're talking about, man.
What I want to know is where he got a blow up doll that can make tendies.
It's one of those AI ones.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he broke the bank for this one. That's why he hasn't been going to as many Vikings games this year. His travel budget's gone down quite a bit.
Man.
But yeah, KC. I mean, look at KC. Might not make the playoffs this year. They definitely are not going to win the division. That's a 2-dog race. It looks like, right? It's Denver, and it's the Chargers.
Oh shit! See here, I thought the Raiders were going to be making a push for it.
Oh, you're funny.
This is a slap.
Hey, but that leads into an interesting conversation though, because like the Chiefs are dropping off, right? But we have some other teams dropping off, and it like which of the teams right now that started the season just absolutely on fire, it has a real shot at not making the playoffs.
The Bucks.
You
I
know
was
what?
the
I would go
Bucks. Indianapolis, I just read yesterday they're looking at giving Phillip Rivers a tryout.
I would laugh my nuts off if Phillip Rivers comes back and he does something with it being grandpa. Never could do anything out in San Diego and accomplish too much,
dude,
and now he comes back.
They've got
Bro,
they already got the sham quarterback who now has a broken orbital bone. Probably because someone punched his ass out in the locker room. That was the locker room incident, right? Broke his orbital because he's a dumbass. And look, he fleeced the Colts by getting to draft them where they draft them. That's why I don't like the combine, because the combine is kind of like not the best place to decide if he's a franchise quarterback. Then they finally get a resurgent. I'm going to give Daniel Jones all the credit in the world, man, playing with a broken leg. I mean, if the dude could be out there with his fucked up Achilles, the dude would be, right? I mean, but now they got no quarterback. I mean, what are they going to do? What are you going to do?
Hey, Joe, Fred's
Fred.
got a comment for you.
Yeah, it'll be before that, I hope.
The Colts, though, I mean, what, do you trade for Flacco?
No, but honestly, wouldn't that be a goated arc if Rivers actually came back and took the Colts to the playoffs and actually did something? Like, I mean, the one thing everybody is kind of like agrees that Phillip Rivers is a Hall of Famer at this point, right? With his numbers. The only thing he's missing is the ring. So wouldn't it be like the goated arc if he comes back off the couch and wins them a Super Bowl and like cements his Hall of Fame status forever?
Luka kind of nailed it. Like, does he really want to reset his Hall of Fame clock? Dude, I feel bad for the Colts. They got to find someone. They can't. Making a trade now, you can't really do because of the waiver process. So even if you wanted to get Flacco, it's not like you go trade for Flacco because of the waiver process. Someone else can fuck that up.
Nah, you know who you call? You call Big Dick Nick Foles. That's who you call. He's sitting on a couch somewhere, dude. Like,
I trust
Eli.
Rivers. I trust Phillip Rivers way more than I trust Nick.
Call Eli so you can go get a third ring.
No, Nick Foles in the playoffs.
No, hey, come on, Ken. Those are lies. Eli's.
Hey, Nick Foles in the playoffs is not Nick Foles. Like, no, but honestly though, I mean, like if you look at so the Eagles are kind of on a slide right now. The Bucks are on a huge slide right now, right? The Colts are on a slide right now. Like, who realistically, who out of these teams like has a
Of the
real shot at not
three,
making the playoffs?
of the
Oh,
three, I think the Colts might. They got good enough records.
There,
Let me pull it up.
there's a certain team that we haven't brought up yet either that
The
started.
Lions.
Yep, that started off hot, and right now we're out of the playoffs and have a very good shot of missing it. And they were referred to, and I'm not just picking on Ken with this one, but by multiple people as the best team in the league earlier in the season, and that went
Because at
way
times
down
they
real
looked
quick.
at it. I mean, but
No,
honestly, at times they looked at it. That's been their problem. At times this year, you look at them, and go, "Wow, they are really good," and then it's like, then you go and they pull some stupid shit where they look terrible.
I don't know,
And it's just
Dorn. I don't
like,
know how you can say they're on a slide. They lost one game. Like,
yeah, it's the start of a slide for Dorn.
oh, because Dorn is just Dorn. Okay,
yeah.
so the odds of making the playoffs right now, I hate the odds thing. The odds just give no respect to teams whatsoever, and it's so arbitrary. Let me pull up the records.
Well, it's not
Why
about
can't I
respect or
find
that;
it?
it's the statistics of it.
Yeah, but the statistics are kind of jacked, and we all know that. I just want to go on records, and then we can make our own determination. Okay, so right now you've got in the NFC. Are the Rams the 1 seed again? Yes, the Rams are back at being the 1 seed. So right now, here's the seeding. The Rams are 1. Green Bay's at 2 because of flip flop from this week. Right now, if the playoffs started this week, guess what? It'd be a Bears Packers game.
I'm okay with that.
Here's the bracket right now would be Seattle at Tampa, San Francisco at Philly, Chicago at Green Bay with the Rams in wait. On the other side, it'd be Denver is the number 1 seed. It'd be Pittsburgh at the Chargers, Jacksonville at Buffalo, New England at Houston, or Houston at New England. I'm sorry, Buffalo at Jack, and the Chargers at Pitt. I did that reverse. I mean, that's right now. The wild card race in the hunt. So the Bears are 9-4. Okay, the Bears and the Niners are both 9-4. In the hunt are the Lions at 8-5, the Panthers at 7-6, but the Panthers could also get in if they win the division away from the 7-6 Tampa Bay Bucks. So they're in effect tied, but the Bucks have the tie breaks right now. The Cowboys are 5-6-1, and the Vikings are, believe it, technically still in it at 5-8. So you look at there's 5 games left, right? Games left. A lot could happen. Like, for instance, the Bears play the Niners, the Bears play the Packers again, the Bears play the Lions. There's a lot of movement there now. The only team really, the Lions would be the biggest. Not, the Lions and the Vikings, both who led the NFC last year in record, not getting in, is kind of big if you think about it. You had a 15-win team and a 14-win team that don't get in this year. Okay. Eliminated from playoffs right now is Atlanta, Arizona, New Orleans, Washington, and the Giants. And look at the Washingtons being 3-10 after going to the NFC Championship game. That's huge too. In the AFC, the number 1 seed is New England right now at 11-2. The Broncos at 11-2. But I think the Broncos have. I don't know why they had Broncos at 2 and up top that Lions. The Jags at 9-4, Pittsburgh at 7-6. The wild card is the Bills at 9-4, the Chargers at 8-4, and the Texans now at 8-5 in the hunt. The Colts at 8-5 are not in the playoffs. The Ravens at 6-7 could still get in, obviously, if they win that division. But losing to their division rival didn't help this week. The Chiefs at 6-7, the Dolphins at 6-7, the Bengals at 4-9 are technically still in it. Eliminated officially. The Jets, the Browns, the Raiders, go figure, and the Titans. But dude, Indy's not even in it right now. They're out. And you want to start the year off hot. They start the year off as hot as anyone.
Yeah.
And A-Dub, if that comes to fruition, I think we will watch Rock have a meltdown because of how much he hates Tony Romo. And that's the one thing he could hang his hat on, that Tony Romo couldn't do anything in the playoffs.
Yeah, let me go back up to Josh, because I was reading the thing when Josh made his comment. Oh, so I have slick comments. Well, thank you for thinking they're slick. Not that I hate the Packers. I do as
I
a
was
Bears
gonna say,
fan.
come on.
But at the same time, I can be objective about it, right? And I always try to be objective about the Packers. I do get my homer time in there, but not like
We're
say
gonna
John
say,
Jordan does. I try to be objective with it. That being said, oh my God, JJ McPoopy pants.
No, that's
I
what
mean,
Torrance been calling them all year. It's fucking great.
but
Yeah, I mean, look,
The Bucks were on this
Josh,
great run.
Josh, if you remembered, I said I felt that it would probably be we'd split with you guys. I would have preferred it. I thought it would be an away and away, like the Bears would win in Green Bay, you guys would win in Chicago, kind of thing. Woody said no, home and home. So now I'm hoping Woody's right and I was wrong. But dude, with so many one-score games in this league, it's just hard to beat a team twice in 3 weeks, regardless. Um, Yeah, well then, like if the Bears beat the Packers the next game, let's say, we can't. You know what's a great thing about Bears Packers this year? We don't have to worry about tie breaks. We honestly don't have to worry about tie breaks. It's a half game separation. Let's say you guys lose this week, we win, then we're back in first place by half game. If we beat you, it's a game and a half. So that would mean between San Francisco and Detroit, as long as we win one of those games, we win the division. Right? And for you guys, if you let's say that's how way it works out for those last 2 games, if you win both games and the Bears lose one, you win the division. It's pretty simple for Bears Packers. We have a simple division because there are no tie breaks because of that tie you guys had against Dallas. But
Man, that tie's not looking so bad now, is it?
it does and it doesn't though, because because obviously if you win and now you end up with the same record of us, I mean it takes the only thing it does, it makes it clean in terms of there will be no tie breaks. Unless the Bears happen to tie a game the next 4 weeks.
Oh God.
Right? I mean, it can happen in the NFL. Yeah, you're not sweeping. I don't think you're sweeping the whole North, though. I think you're going to lose in Chicago.
We got a
I
chance.
I mean, yeah, you've got a good chance of losing that game.
No, we got a good chance of sweeping that division. We're already 4-0.
I mean, look at the Packers do have a great division record right now. You still get the Vikings and us, right?
And Luca, if you really want to bet on the Packers and Vikings game for the division title, oh, absolutely. If the Vikings knock the Packers out of the division title, I'll buy you a DoorDash meal. If the Vikings do not knock them out of the playoffs, not the playoffs, the division title, then you got to buy me one. And that means the specific Vikings have to do it. It can't be any other team that knocked them out of the division title.
So, but I mean, the Vikings could still play spoiler. There's that.
Mm-hmm.
The Lions could play spoiler in terms of who wins the division. Now, look, at the Lions win out. They still have a shot in this division if they win out. Not to win the division, maybe. Well, maybe they do. If they win out, they could win the division. But
They have to win out, and pretty much we have to lose out.
Week 18 could be very interesting in this division with the Vikings Packers game and the Bears Lions game. Like if the Vikings and the Bears win, okay, like Green Bay and Chicago probably get in the playoffs, but the Chicago could win the division. But let's say the Lions and the Vikings win, you could have a situation where all of a sudden the Lions, depending on how these other games go, win the division, and either the Bears or Packers don't make the playoffs. There's still some wiggle room, so we can't count the Lions out yet. But look, let's see how they do this week. I mean, you guys have Denver. Who does the Lions have? The Ravens, right? And
that's gonna be a tough game for the Packers, dude. Like,
no, Detroit has the Rams.
Oh, that's okay. It's just the Rams.
But you got Denver, and Denver's defense is ridiculous, dude. That's gonna be a good game.
Their defense is very ridiculous, but their offense is a wet sponge.
Yeah, but I mean, like if their defense can keep you in check, like they don't really have to score that many points. You know?
And Roma,
if we win the close one, I'm happy.
And we'll have Edmonds and Edwards both at linebackers. So whatever, Josh. People will come back from injury. Things will be different. We get it. I mean, yeah, they have a shot more of the playoffs than they do the division, but weird things that happen. Look at you're talking. It's a game and a half of separation right now between first and third in this division, with 4 games left. In a vacuum, oof, I don't know. John, you're assuming that you're going to be in position to not be knocked out yourself. Feel the
No, yeah. Mo picks for Bo Nix.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, dude, Denver, like we laugh, but they're 11-2, dude. Like they're winning games against, and I mean they've beaten some teams,
Look at they're doing what
But a lot of them have been.
Yeah,
teams
that's
that
why
they
I said
beat.
that's why I said they've beaten some teams. I didn't say like
look, it's like,
they're
you
giant
look at the
killers or
Bears, you
anything.
look
But
at the Packers, you look at the Vikings. All of our schedules may have been a little harder, maybe not so hard, depending on how you look at it. The point is, you have to win games in the NFL, and it doesn't matter if you win it by 3 or win it by 30. A W is a W, and they're doing what it takes to win games. Period. I mean, as we've seen, the difference in a football game, like even if you look at Washington with their shitty record, they've been in every game. They've been in virtually every game. I mean, every team gets a game or two that gets away from them overall. But
Wait.
yeah, see,
Wait.
that's right, Billy.
Oh, he did pick the Packers?
He said it would be a home and home, and I said away and away.
Oh, don't worry. I will fuck with Woody for that one the next time we play the game.
So, I mean, look, the parity in this league, like even the teams with 2 or 3 wins for the most part, almost most of those games are 1-score games. Like if you look at let me look at Washington's schedule and see what like even this week the Commanders got blown out this week, so that's maybe not a good but I mean, look, everyone's going to have a game. They just get lost in the sauce, right? But the Washington Commanders this year, and when the Bears played them, they were a winning team, by the way. They won 21-6, lost 27-18, won 41-24, lost 34-27, won 27-10, lost 25-24. Well, then they lost by, God, they got doubled up by the Cowgirls. So maybe they're bad. Ooh, lost 27. They're a bad example. They get a lot of 2-score games. They got some close games. Lost to the Broncos 27. See, here's the weird thing. You lose to the Broncos 27-26, and we'd all agree the Broncos are light years better than the Vikings. And the Vikings blow them out 31-0.
And I don't know if I'd say they're light years better.
The Giants this year, they lose 21-6 against the Commanders. 40-37 against the Boys, they lose. They lose 22-9 to the Chiefs. They beat the Chargers. They lose to the Saints by 12. Beat the Eagles. Lose by 1 point to the Broncos. Then they lose to 18 by the Eagles. 10 points to the Niners. Bears beat them by 4. Packers beat them by a touchdown in overtime. The Lions beat them by 1 score. The Patriots blew them up. I mean, it's interesting when you look at these teams. Some of these, they're in games. So it's interesting. Like this league is interesting, man. Any given Sunday is so true. And I think like the better teams, they do win these close games, right? The teams that aren't as good, they tend to lose them, and they tend to lose them because either a coaching mistake or player error, like fumbles and turnovers, right? That's always the difference. So it's going to be interesting. The AFC isn't strong like the NFC this year. Period.
I'd agree with that.
I mean,
yeah, because I honestly think the Patriots are going to be, even as the 1 seed. I think there's a real chance they could go 1 and done.
Maybe.
Like and I only say that because of the lack of experience at that point. Like, you have a rookie quarterback in the sense that he's never played in the playoffs, right? You got young, yeah, right. I mean, get them in while you can, dude. Like, I get it. The Raiders are terrible this year, and
This year?
yeah, I mean, they're terrible this year, but I have faith that they're going to draft a quarterback, and I think that will make some difference. And I think they're going to address the offensive line next year, and I think you'll see a much better. But we'll see.
Oh, I was gonna say I hope so for you, buddy, but they should have drafted a QB last year. I would have mortgaged the farm personally.
They tried.
Oh, they did.
Oh wait, well, not last year. The year before, when Bo Nix and all them came out, they tried, but the Falcons took Penix. Which actually, in hindsight, I'm glad we didn't mortgage the farm. Like I still like Penix, but I just, he's not the guy I want to mortgage the farm for.
Interesting thing that is Josh said the Bears will fumble away. So if you look at the in giveaways, right? Guess where the top 3 teams, or guess how many teams in the NFC North are in the top 5 for not giving the ball? Take a guess. Ooh, those must have been some good comments I just did.
Yeah, they were something.
The top. Here are the top 5, and look at the difference between 1 and 5. There are 2 teams with 8: Green Bay and Detroit. With 10, 2 through, so basically tied for second. The Bucs, the Texans, and the Browns with 10. Interesting. The Bears are number 1 in the league with a plus-minus of 17.
Yeah.
Very interesting. So, that's a sign of good football teams is be on the right side of the takeaways. And yeah.
So
Vikings have been terrible this year because they're not getting takeaways.
Yeah, Josh, you're right. That's exactly the problem. But so we were talking about teams that started off hot and now might miss the playoffs. But what about the flip side of that? Teams that started off absolutely dog shit and now all of a sudden are getting hot at the right time, like the Texans,
Well, the Texans, Baltimore to a degree, even though the loss was a setback this week, because that was another team that, and they had injury issues early, and then they got healthy when the Bears came to town and whatever. The Bears start off 0-2. They're in the thick of it. So you got the Bears, you've got the Texans, you've got Baltimore.
I don't know if I really put the Bears. I mean, I get it. They started off 0-2, but when I'm saying started off dog shit, it's like, look at the Texans. They started off like 2-6 or something, dude. Like,
oh yeah,
they started off looking like they were going to be bottom feeders. And the Ravens started off like 0-5 or 2-5.
Well, the reason I add the Bears in because at the beginning of the year you get all those stupid stats. If you start out 0-2, you have like a 18% chance of making the playoffs, kind of crap.
Yeah.
But they were 500 by the bye, which for them was week 5. So it's kind of hard with the Bears or or any of the teams like that early. But you could Texans are a lot different team now. They're playing their defense. They're hot. Dallas.
Yeah, that's another good one. Oh yeah, Dallas. Buffalo had a rough start.
They've had a rough season.
Yeah.
Bengals, of course. Yeah, but I think after this loss last week,
Bengals are good.
You know who else? The Dolphins. They've been playing good football lately.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Dolphins, man, they've quietly rape caved like three teams already, like just in the last few weeks, dude.
I am so glad that caught on. That's from now on what we're going to refer to as every Dolphins victory is they brought him to the rape cave.
The overly aggressive aquatic sea mammals.
The overly sexually aggressive aquatic sea mammals.
No doubt. I mean, there are a couple teams that have been a little bit. And look, there's some teams that started hot that went dirt cold too. Like, look at the Commanders were 3-2 until Chicago came to town.
And where is Miami right now in the standings?
Ken might get there faster than me. Let me see. Okay.
Yeah.
In the standings, they are third place at 6-7 in their division, behind the Pats 11-2 and the Bills at 9-4.
They're in 11th place for
Yeah.
playoff seeding.
So, how many games are they back from the 7th seed?
Two.
They're not. Yeah, they're not out of it.
Because I'm sitting here thinking, like, we're talking about teams that started off rough but might have a chance to.
They're like the Ravens, except that whereas the Ravens, they're looking like the Ravens are looking more because look at 6-7, they can win the division because the Steelers are 7-6, right? The Dolphins at 6-7, same record as the Ravens. Problem is they have the Bills at 9-4 and the Pats at 11-2 above them. They could sneak in on a wild card, but you look at the other wild card teams. So the wild card teams, you got the Bills with 9 wins right now. You've got the Texans with 8. You've got the Chargers with 9. There's Here's your 3 wild cards.
Mm.
So they got to catch. So the 8-win teams, you got to figure out what they're most likely to catch, right? So the 8-win teams, you've got 2 that are possible. They're fighting for a spot with the Colts and the Texans, who are both 8-5 right now. Now the Colts might look like they might be trending down, losing 3 in a row. Texans have won 5 in a row. The Dolphins have won 4 in a row. So the Dolphins, it comes down to like Dolphins need some help. They need the Texans and the Colts really to keep losing. The Chiefs are also at 6-7. So you could put the Dolphins, you lop them in with where the Chiefs are. So if you don't think the Chiefs can get in, both those teams are looking to. They either have to catch the Colts or the Texans most likely at 8 wins. And the 9-win teams that are playoff teams right now are the Chargers and the Bills. That's a hard road for them.
Mm-hmm.
But they're going to be sneaky close. They could sneak in because even when you're talking about this playoff scenario, the Dolphins are the one team no one talks about because everyone talks about, it's about Kansas City, while the rape cave is very silently getting party lights put up.
I was just gonna say, I mean, they got 4 wins in a row. If they can stay hot, like they might be able to sneak in. What's the remaining schedule look like?
I was just thinking the same thing. I'm clicking on it right now. Their remaining schedule. Ooh. Well, they got the Steelers this week at home.
They could take them to the rape cave.
Then they get Joe Burrow.
Oh, they could take him to the rape cave too. And shit, with the game we saw last week, he might walk in willingly.
Their schedule is this: they go to the Steelers at home against the Bengals, at home against the Bucks, and they go to the Pats in Week 18.
They go to the Pats at the end of the season.
Yeah, and the Pats will already. The Patriots will already have that division locked up by then.
Now here's the thing, though. Let's look at their last. Their last going backwards. They just beat the Jets 34-10. They beat the Dolphins 21-17. They beat the Commanders 16-13. They beat the Bills 30-13 to start this 4-game win streak.
Mm-hmm.
The week before, they lost to the Ravens 28-6. The week before that, they beat the Falcons 34-10. They got beat 31-6 against the Browns. The Chargers beat them 29-27. The Panthers beat them by a field goal. They beat the Jets. The Bills beat them by 10, so they split with the Bills. The Pats beat them in their first meeting in September by 6, so by a touchdown. The Colts mollywopped them in Week 1.
What do you notice about that? What do you notice about that trend, though?
All bad teams they've beaten except for Buffalo.
Well, okay, but I was gonna say the games that they lost, like a lot of those, it's like they played down to their competition, but when they played tougher teams, they actually, like the Bills, they beat them. They play close with tough teams.
Yeah,
which bodes well for them.
The bad team they really just mollywopped was the Jets.
Mm-hmm.
Because the week before, the Saints are getting better. They beat them 21-17. They beat the Commanders by 3, but then they beat the Bills by by almost 20, by 17. Mm-hmm. But then the week before, they got killed by the Ravens by 22 points.
Mm-hmm.
So interesting.
I don't know. I'm thinking like, I mean, I'm not going to put money on it, but they're my dark horse to sneak into the playoffs, especially with their remaining schedule.
Joe just wants to keep the rape cave alive through January.
Awesome.
You know what I was just thinking? You know, it's gonna be messed up. But
All right, go for it.
If the Dolphins really wanted to like make this rape cake thing like stick forever, they should go get Ben Roethlisberger.
Have fucking Diddy is one of their sideline dancers.
Damn. In his prison jumpsuit.
This segment of how we got canceled on the internet brought to you by.
Well, if we're gonna get canceled, you might as well have 50 in the stands pointing and laughing at Diddy.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Philly's in trouble too, though, because like, dude, they're on a little bit of a slide now.
Yeah. But I just like Broski said they could lose out and still win the division. So
They are only 2 games ahead of the Cowboys. If they lose out, they will lose the division.
usually Broski's pretty right on with that.
I was gonna say I'm
Well,
looking at it right now.
The Eagles are 8-5. The Cowboys are 6-6. Yeah, I mean, oh well, it's 6-6-1. So it's another situation like the Green Bay Chicago thing. You've got this half game separation. So right now, I mean, it's a game and a half.
Yeah,
right?
and I was gonna say, don't forget that the Cowboys had beat the Eagles too, so they had split. It's not not like they hold a major tiebreaker.
Well, okay. Well, the Eagles are going to do okay this week. They got the Raiders. Then here's the Eagles. But here's the thing: the Eagles have the Raiders, then the Commanders, then the Bills, then the Commanders. The Cowgirls have the Vikings, the Chargers, the Commanders, and the Giants. So actually, both kind of similar schedules. Their toughest game is probably the Chargers. Yeah. And for the Eagles, their toughest game is going to be the Bills.
Mm-hmm.
So they might catch a game, but to get 2 games or a game and a half, it's going to be kind of hard for the Cowboys. Their best bet is to win the division. But if they win out, that's the thing. If they Cowboys win out and they go 10-6, 10-6-1, I don't know if that gets you in. I think you need 11 wins in the NFC to get in. Which means the Bears, the Packers, for example, probably each, because look at the Rams and Seahawks already at 10, right? The Bears and the Packers need to get to 11 because if the Lions can get in if they can get to 11. I think 11 wins could get you in. I mean, so look at the Lions. If they win the next 3 and they're 11-5 come into week 18, they can lose to the Bears and still get in.
Yeah, but they're still going to need a lot of help.
Yeah, 11 wins because look at the Eagles. Okay, well, let's see. You look at the Niners are the competition there, right? I mean, right now, who's going to send 3? Is it going to be the NFC Central, geez, the North or the West? The Niners are 9-4, so if they win 2 games, remember they play Chicago one of the games. Let's say the Bears win that game. Well, now the other 3 games. I mean, I think you need 11 to get in, so at least 11 to get in. That could happen, Josh. Yeah. So I mean, I think 11 games might be if you're in the North or the West, you need 11 to get in. Yeah. That's what you need. Oh, and JB changed his little icon there to I don't know what that is right now. What is that?
Yeah, no, it's a lion smoking for Smoking Jeremy B.
Well, guess what? Smoking Jeremy B is on in about 40 seconds. So everyone, please make sure you go raid and join him. Thank you everyone on Rumble X, YouTube, the network, and Facebook for joining us today. Tomorrow being Wednesday will be Hump Day. Just don't go to the Miami Dolphins rape cave. You might not make it out alive. All right, guys. Thank you for joining us.
That'll definitely be Hump Day.
we'll see you back here tomorrow. We'll start previewing the week. We'll get into Thursday night's game a little bit. Then as we start to look more into it, but the playoff picture is getting tight, guys. It's that time of year. Everyone have a great day.